I'm back. Hey. So, I tried to make this video a minute ago, and you know the little SD card, tiny little thing, minute. It's 256 gigabytes, and every time I try to put it in, it pops out and it ends up falling on the floor. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to break it. But it's not just that. What concerns me is that, you know, they used to be this sort of size, didn't they? And they got smaller. You have to put it into the bottom of one of these to actually put it in the computer. But they're going to get smaller and smaller until they're like a dot. They're going to have like a terabyte on a dot. How are you going to put it in and put it out? Anyway, I suppose they'll do away with them, won't they? Eventually, they'll be, you know, the hard drive will be on the camera. Anyway, I digress. I've had a fairly good day today, productive day. I haven't had a chance to review my sales, but they're acceptable. They could be better, but I'm happy with what I got. I've been working in the background over the last week. You might have heard me talk about different things I'm working on, which I plan to do, and I've been chipping away at it, and I've made a big leap today. I've finally finished a big project, which was to reconcile my thread cabinets. I've just finished that. I finished the reconciliation of the actual threads on Sunday, but today I finished the listings. They're all brilliant. And I've strategically decided to actually compete aggressively in eBay on the Gutermann thread. And I'm going to do the same thing on my shop. I'm going to I'm going to create a discount code that I'm going to share to people. It's going to be one of my things that I do this week on the social media platforms. But whilst I'm talking about the social media platform, this geezer Gary V basically said, you know, you've got to basically do your posts on social media every day for a month. And my understanding is that at the end of the month you'll start to see things, you'll start to see data, you'll start to see visits to your store, and I'm starting to feel as if there are people are coming to my online shop and looking at the products that I'm talking about, but they're not necessarily buying yet. But we'll see what happens. However, I've been consistent and I've been putting out posts, even when like late at night. If I think, oh, I haven't done that yet, I'm jumping on it. I'm grabbing a photograph from my hard drive of a product and I'm putting it out there saying new arrival. If it's a newish arrival, quick post, sends a job done. Off to Instagram, off to Facebook. And I've been doing that all last week, and you know, been getting some decent. I think they call it reach and views and things like that. A couple of likes here and there. But yesterday I did something different. Yesterday I typed up the post and then I copied and pasted it to ChatGPT and asked it to make an upbeat, persuasive post, and it did. It came back with this is what it said. Let me see if I can find it. It said, what did it say? Where is it now? I can't see the post. I'll open up ChatGPT itself because it's in there. Log in. Come on, mate. Why don't you just go straight in? Once I've logged into my account, you miserable. I can't be bothered. But basically, it came back with a beautiful, upbeat post with all these spangles on it, and you know the language was different to what I'd use, and it listed everything in it. It brought all my my hashtags over, and it added a few more on as well, which I wasn't aware of. And I copied and pasted that, and I put it out there, and within less than 24 hours, I had 2 likes, but they weren't just likes; they were love hearts. They were love hearts, red love hearts. I love it. 2 people, and it was really encouraging. In actual fact, I saw that those love hearts were for their first thing this morning, so there's somebody that's seen them overnight. I haven't had any other likes since, but the statistics are, it's basically tells you there was 86 views. 86 views. Where's the? I wonder if I can see the post. 86 views, 62 reach. I don't know what that means. Yeah, the views are the number of times your content was played or displayed, so their impressions. Then the 62 people, it says the metric counts reach from the organic or paid distribution, and it says additional media post, including it was boosted. Reach is only counted once if it occurs from both organic and paid distribution. This metric also includes reach from when your post was reshared. I don't know, that doesn't mean anything to me. Maybe if I read it 10 times I'd probably understand it. But out of that, there was 2 interactions, the 2 love hearts. So I was interested to see who they were. So I went onto Facebook and I looked at them. There were 2 names that I recognised from my customers, Louise and Jilly. Hi, if you see this. Louise is the local girl. She's a university student. She makes stuff and sells it on Etsy. I remember meeting her in here about a year ago. Haven't seen her since. Maybe she's bought and I haven't noticed. Maybe bought online. But the fact that it refreshed my mind and I saw her latest makes on her Facebook profile. Brilliant. Brings you a little bit closer to the customer, makes it a bit more human. So I was really pleased with that. ChatGPT is the way to go for me. I've got to basically type up the basic raw beans, if you like, and then put it in there and allow it to do its thing. And so I was quite happy with that. I've got maybe 2 or 3 more posts to do this week around the thread. I'm going to push the thread and see if I can basically get some engagement, maybe some visits, some online purchases. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But this is where I'm revealing a bit more info, and we'll see what happens. Oh, is that the post there? No. Oh, yeah, it says, hey there. No, it doesn't say hey there. It says they're here. They're here. Exciting news. Sewing lovers, right? At Thread and Trimmings, we've just stocked up on our very own Gutermann cabinets, brimming with the most scrummy threads. Sounds like a woman's written it. Scrummy threads. It's a language I would never ever use. Brimming with the most scrummy threads. We've got it all. Sew all 100-metre reels, top stitch 30-metre reels, extra strong thread, linen thread, tacking cotton, sewing elastic, metallic decorative thread, because who doesn't love a little sparkle? It sounds great. Stay tuned for more updates. This is just the beginning. I love it. And then it's got all the hashtags. It's great. I could never produce something like that. Never. I wouldn't think of it. Okay, we'll see what happens. But I think the idea is to keep pumping it. And I think something there about, on this meta thing, it tells you what your overall performance is like. Let's have a look. Yeah, the stuff that I did at the very beginning of the initiative, I mean, there's like 150, 129. And it's got some statistics there. Let's have a look. Content planner, notifications, advert manager, insights. Yeah, insights. What's this one? It just says your activity: 7 Facebook posts, 3 Facebook stories, 7 Instagram posts, 176 increase. It says increased Facebook reach. That was my goal. Total last week, your results: 194 on eBay, on Facebook, and 156 on Instagram. That's whether they're views or impressions, I just don't know. But my brand name and the products, regardless of what the quality, they've passed in front of somebody, which means there's nearly 350 impressions more than what I would have got if I hadn't done it. You know what I mean? I think you've got to do it. You've got to be in it to win it. So we'll see what happens. The beautiful thing about this is that it gives you a record of where you started from, and eventually you'll see where you ended up. So you can basically see what worked in between. Social media, who'd have thought? I've never done it before. We'll see what happens. It makes sense to do it. But along the way, the other things that happened today is I got another sale from Northern Ireland. I think it's about the 4th or 5th one since the GPSR? The GPSR kicked in. I thought I'd switched everything off, and I kept saying to me, Dad, I've got to do it. I've got to do something. But it's like you when you ring through to eBay for help, they make it so difficult. In the end, I got through. I had a chat with the bot, and I kept navigating. I want to speak to a human. I want to speak to a human, and then eventually it gave me the details. They'll call you, and it did. It called me. I spoke to somebody in America. They realised that they were out of the depth because it was all about Northern Ireland, so they don't understand what it was about. So they transferred me through to Dublin. I had a chat with the girl there. I said, I've got 2 things really. I don't want to be a bit cheeky, but can I talk to you about the Northern Ireland thing? She says, what, you don't want to be selling to us now? And I said, no, it's not that. You know what the score is. I said, it's a tragedy. It's an absolute tragedy. And she shut up then because it's politics. She realised that the call was going down a political spin. And I said, anyway, let's forget that. And I told her what happened. I said, basically, as far as I'm concerned, I've blocked Northern Ireland, but I keep getting sales, and I'm having to cancel them. And it's the customer experience, and it's affecting my performance on my stores. Oh dear, we've got to sort that out because she knows it's customer experience. It's a bad deal for her, for the customer, for me, and for eBay. So she went into the thing and she said, well, yeah, you've got it ticked on there. And she went into all these profiles that I've got that are created via InkFrog. I had an inkling it might have something to do with that, but there was hundreds of them. And she said, no, you only need to look at the ones where they've got listings in it. On the right-hand column, there was listings. So she said, you went into one of them. She said, see that one there, the third one down? I said, yeah. She said, you haven't blocked it. There's nothing in there. So I thought, right, I've got it. So I just need to go through those and set the flag. She said, yeah, that's all you need to do. I thought, great, leave it with me. I'll figure the rest out. I said, but what about all the profiles with 0 in it? I said, can I delete them? She said, yeah. I said, okay. So at the end of play today, I went in there and I set all the flags, but there was a couple of profiles that I couldn't. It kept saying that it's a duplicate. So I'm going to have to basically create another profile and shift them into it and then go back and delete that profile. I've got to do that. That's great, but at least I know what to do, because it was doing me head in. I was getting upset by it because it was a lost sale. You get the sale, you think, well, that's nice. And then you go in, you go to produce the label, it says Northern Ireland, you think, you bleeder, I can't do it. So you have to cancel it. You've got no choice but to cancel it. So while I was on the phone to her, I said, look, the other problem I've got is that I'm getting customers who are asking to cancel orders because I shifted from a free postage model to a paid postage model. And I think people are either shocked or surprised by the fact that I'm charging postage, or they want to do combined postage and it's not letting them do it. I said, what can I do? And she took me to the module, and I said, yeah, I've been in there before, but I don't understand it. I said, so she explained to me how it works. And I thought, yeah, well, that is my understanding, actually. That's what I thought it was. I said, but my sticker was, if somebody buys from several different listings and they put it into the basket, my understanding is that it will sit there as an unpaid item until I've done a revised invoice. She said exactly right. So I said, but what happens if the items that they're putting in for the different baskets was some second class, some first class, paid postage, and another one where it's free postage? I said, is it just a matter of me working out what it is going to cost me to send it at the highest possible thing? And she said, yeah, that's all it is. I thought, right, okay. I think I'm overthinking things. I think that's what I do. And I end up basically crafting rules that don't bloody exist. Only in my head. You know what I mean? And I think there's another word for it. I think it's called doubt. I doubt myself. I think my brothers are saying. We have great doubt, and doubt is the thing that ruins man, or people, human beings. It holds you back in life. It prevents you from moving forward. It prevents you from taking risks if you doubt. And the thing that I always keep telling myself, if I recognise it when it's happening, is that I don't have to be 100% right. I only have to be 70 or 80% right. Because if I do something and 3/4 of it works, great. But I tend to see the 25% that doesn't work. But I've got to look at that and say, well, now I know what doesn't work. I can try and identify what it is that will work. I think Thomas Edison did the same thing with the light bulb. He gave up. And then he realised, after about 10,000 experiments, he realised after 10,000 experiments that he knew 10,000 things that didn't work. And so he carried on, he persisted, and then he got there in the end, and we got the light bulb because of it. And maybe somebody will say, no, there's Tesla who was involved and some other one was involved, whatever. But the message, the principle is that you don't give up. Don't give up. Keep on keeping on. Keep going and working at it until you find something that does work. That's my understanding. Anyway, I got two satisfactory things done today in that one phone call, but the reality of the matter is I could have learned or been satisfied if I hadn't made that phone call 2 weeks ago. I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off until the moment came when I thought, right, that's it, I've had enough now, I've sold some, it's Northern Ireland, that's the last straw. Why did I have to wait for that? I should have just got on the phone 2 weeks ago and I would have been 2 weeks ahead, Okay, it's something to learn. The other thing was, I got my customer thread, and right, the next step. Now I can feel great. Now I've got a clean. I've finished that project, so I can move on to the next one. And the next one is to try and remove the barriers to those people who visit my stall. And I think I must let's just out of interest, let's have a quick look and see how many visitors I've had today. It's the first day of the month. I bet it's going to be the worst one in terms of stats. Let's have a look. Today. Right. Come on, where's the visitors then? Visitors reports. Come on, where are you? Right, I've had 53 sessions. So this is the deal. 53 sessions. So that's 53 people have visited the store, I believe. Is it the number of user sessions in your online store? So it's 6 o'clock. 53 sessions for the day. It's not so great. We've had a higher than that, but the conversion rate was 5.6%, which is really, really high. I think the industry standard is about 3, and that's not the industry standard. A really good standard is 3. So the percentage of online store sessions that result in a sale, I've had 5.66%. So 10% will be 5. So about 3 sales today on the back of that in principle. But if that carries on at 5.5%, and I've got 1,000 people today, then it would stand to reason that I will get 50 sales. I need 1,000 people to visit the store. Well, serious buyers. But today's not a good day to actually. There it is. 53 sessions. 6 people added to the cart. 6 reached checkout, and 3 completed a sale. That's the life of those visitors and how it resulted. Let me just see what it was for last month, because today's a new month, isn't it? Yeah, the 1st of April. So last month was, let me just see what the overall money numbers were. Last month, come on, where are you, mate? Where are you? Last month, there you are, last month. Let's have a look. So last month, let's see what the numbers were. Right. I had 3,219 visitors, 3,219. Bear in mind, those are visitors that are coming to see my store. It's not owned by anybody else, it's owned by me. Which means that the risk of closing it down is only down to me. On the marketplaces, you're vulnerable. Here, I'm not. 3,219 people found me. It's 48. That was 48% down on the previous month. So the previous month was a lot higher. The conversion rate was 3.95%. That's good. It's 116% up. 3.95. That's the percentage of online store sessions that result in a sale. So the conversion rate breakdown, I ended up with 3,219 sessions, 311 of those sessions, that's just under 10%, added to a cart. So they engaged with the cart, they're looking at something and they added it in the cart. 311, remember that. Of those 311, 149 managed to get to the checkout. They had the intention of getting to the checkout. 149 people. And of the 149 people, 127 purchased. So really, I need to get a lot more people to add to carts. But anyway, so that I was happy with that. Overall sales are not far behind eBay. In actual fact, if it wasn't for my store, I'd be looking at the eBay sales and I'd say, no, it's time to give up. But I persist at it because the Shopify revenue and the eBay revenue together makes it acceptable. It's not decent, it's acceptable. I can live on it, I can cover myself. What I need to do is ramp up my sales on my Shopify store, and that's what this plan is all about. So today I'm going to rework my postage model. I got a bit of a stupid postage model. I wanted to keep the postage cost low for small beer buys, people that want to just buy a blooming pack of hair grips or something, or a sewing needle. So I got a £3.29 package and postage for the large letter, for anything up to a £5. It originally was a tenner, but people were buying something that would qualify for a parcel and only paid £3.29 postage, so I was losing. It was, I wasn't making any money. So I dropped the threshold down to five quid, £3.29. And then from £5 to 50, I put it up to £5.99. So anybody that wanted to come and buy something that was just over £5 would end up paying £5.99 package of postage. And looking back at it, I think this is the reason why a lot of people get to the checkout and the basket, the checkout, and they abandon the basket. They go away because it's too high. So I did some competitor analysis, and I came across one of my competitors, and I thought, yes, he's got it, he's doing the blooming tracked, and I want the track now. The tracked is an enabler for me, right? So I got onto I looked at what he's doing, and he's basically charging, and I'm going to do the same because it's just 20p more than what I'm currently charging for the small beer. But it's going to be £3.49, 20p more, not for £3.49 for second class postage from 0 to 50 quid, right? Flat fee, £3.49 for the first £50. Spend over £50 and you get free second class postage, right? But if you want it faster than that, you can upgrade, and then I'm going to go in at £3.99 for the first 25 quid, right? £3.99. £4.99 for the second 25 quid, right? And then I'm going to go in £5.99, which I'm currently charging, for the third £25. So anything up to 75 quid. If they spend between £50 and £75, it'll be £5.99. But if you spend £75 or more, then you get free first class postage, right? And at £75, if you spend £75 or more, you get 10% off. So that's the sweet spot. I'm going to try and incentivize people to spend 75 quid. It's a push. It's a push because currently I'm giving them 10% off, and I do get people that come in and spend over £75, and they get the discount. But what I need to see is people filling up the basket. They get to say 65 quid, and they add in a few more extra bits and pieces to push it over the 75 in order to get the 10% off. And I'm thinking that if I give them free first class postage at that particular pricing point and the 10%, it might see a few more people do it. Hopefully, I don't know. However, that's not the real opportunity. The real opportunity is those people that abandon the basket that were going to spend 10 or 14 quid. Because even though I'm going to charge £3.49 for second class, I'm really going to send it second class tracked, right? And if the item is like a large letter, then it's only going to cost me £2.25 to send it, because that's the price I got. Shouldn't have said that, should I? Not allowed to disclose it. Right, that's what I'm going to be working on tonight. Finally, the final thought that's come back to me, something I didn't write down that I remembered. On Friday, I sold a pair of scissors, didn't I, that I couldn't deliver. I thought I had everything set up, but it turns out that I didn't have the code in Click and Drop to produce a label for age verification. I got a bit upset about that. I came in on Monday and I made the phone calls and I sent off some emails, 2 or 3 different people. Eventually the account manager came back to me with a quote. I had to have a quote, and it was a bit confusing. I looked at it and it's basically it. So I get two service codes, one for first class, one for second class, but it's a price for the overall package. It isn't a price for tracked with an enhancement of age verification. It's a age verification product, and that's what it is. And I had to go through the process of agreeing to it. In actual fact, I've got to basically do how many? I've got to do 100 a year, 50 large letter and 50 24. That's 2 a week. So I've agreed to do it. But whether I will or not, I don't know. However, I'm just waiting for those codes now for the Click and Drop to be activated. It might have been done by now, but I'll be able to move forward because I'll be able to reactivate that work. I did a big piece of work and actually trying to get all my scissors to be compliant. I'll be able to reactivate that and start moving forward on that as well. Got there, man. So, all being well, I should reach a bit of a calmer. I shouldn't have any problems, all being well, God willing, and I'll be able to move forward until the next problems, unforeseen problems, raise their head. Because that's the thing about being on eBay, by the way, folks. Whether you're a reseller or whether you're somebody selling brand new stuff like me, like wholesale, high volume stuff, low profit margins, high volume. If you're that type of seller, you're always going to get fires to fight. We're like firemen. We're having to fight fires all the time. Sometimes eBay's created them. Sometimes we've created them. And sometimes the customers create them. You know what I mean? The scammers and that kind of thing. There are lots of things to upset you and to drain your energy. But you've got to keep positive. It's one of the things that we have to deal with as online sellers. But bit by bit, we move forward. And I will give you an update on how my social media is going, because that's key. It's going to be a key part of my growth plans, and the Postage profile, that my Postage product and my Postage offering, when I make the changes to see how that goes. I should, in theory, see an increase in sales. And then I've got to do the paid for advertising at some point, and I'm going to go back into eBay. I'm definitely going to have another go, for sure. There's one more thing I want to tell you. I keep getting this email offering me a contract just to approve, to sign and approve it. It's doing me head in. They kept saying, it opened up today, and I opened it up and I read it. I thought, okay, let's follow it through and see what happens. Definitely from eBay, but it appeared, I didn't know if it was from a eBay rep. I think it's an eBay rep because it's an Irish name. And I went all the way through it, and it was suggesting that I give 20% off. I ain't going to give 20% off. I'll give something maybe 5 or 10% off. But maybe you see the information, the way they send the tool to you, and they don't really give you an explanation on how to use it. So I basically rejected it, and they ask you why. There's a lot of reason codes on the drop down list, and then a free format text box. And I wrote in there, I said, I am really interested in doing this. I really want to do it, but I need to understand the reporting side of things, and I need to attend some kind of eBay university on marketing, the tools that they've given us, at kindergarten level. I need it to be a lot more simplified, because whenever I read and learn, I can read one sentence and have 1,000 thoughts on it, and it just confuses me and bamboozles me, and I need somebody to be able to answer the questions there and then. Because I love questions. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit there writing them down, only to, well, maybe that's what I've got to do. But I want to know how to actually evaluate the results. I want to know if it was a profitable campaign or not. I don't want to just keep pumping money into something that just keeps losing me money, and without me realising. I need to have a way of establishing, am I winning here? They've got this basic measurement which basically says for every £1 spent you get X number of sales. That's fine. Spend £5 on advertising to get £10 sales. Makes sense, doesn't it? If you can spend £100 and you get 10 times that, you get £1,000 in sales, great. But what about all the other costs? And when you take all the VAT off and everything, are your fees plus VAT, or are they including VAT? It doesn't tell you. And so it's not a like-for-like measurements. I want an even playing field, because I reckon that the result, the engine that they've got at the back might say, yeah, you've got a return on ROAS, I think it's called. ROAS, return on asset spend, or something like that. Something like that, I can't remember. So if I'm spending £1 and I'm getting £10 in sales, it really might be that you're spending £1.50 on it, or £1.20 with VAT, and getting only £8.70 in sales. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want to know what the real numbers are. I don't want no artificial rubbish, because I feel as if they hide behind that kind of thing. I could be inventing this problem, but I need them to tell me, no, Martin, you're wrong. This is exactly what it is. You don't have to worry about that. This is what you need to be thinking about, and this is what you need to be looking at, and you need to be those kind of things. And I don't need them just to tell me once. I need to be told 3 or 4 times until it sinks in and I become competent at it. And then I'll have a go, because I really, really, really do believe that the marketing, paying for external advertising, internal advertising, promotions, coupons, and all that kind of thing, I think when you do it together, if you've got a strategic approach, then you can capture the customers that come in via the different channels on eBay. Because you've got some people that go down that just want to sort by the lowest price first. Others want to sort by free postage. Others want to support within 50 miles of my area. Others are only looking for coupons. Others are basically responding to promoted ads. Others are ignoring the promoted ads, and they're going right down to the bottom of the queue and looking for the cheapest product. I need to be able to capture them, you see, because I think then my sales will go back up, and I think if you play that game, you could get back to like £20,000, £30,000 a month. I'm thinking. I could be bloody wrong, couldn't I? But we'll see. But let's see if we can get eBay going, and at some point I'm going to turn my attention to Etsy as well, because I've got to pick up that work there. My dad keeps telling me, what about TikTok? What about TikTok? As if he's an 83-year-old bloody teenager. What about TikTok? He doesn't even know what TikTok is. He just heard that it's booming, you know what I mean? He keeps saying TikTok. And I said, yeah, well, I've done Etsy. We'll get on to TikTok. But, you know, when are you going to do Etsy then? I said, it's about 3 years away, Dad. Anyway, that's that. I don't think I've got anything else to say. I saw a video of Ricky Resells today. He's great, isn't he? I love these videos. He's basically, his editing skills are superb. They all are. Everyone's great. But he's got this, not an edge, but it's interesting. Because it was Ricky. Is it Ricky? Yeah, Ricky Resells. He was the one that basically got bought a DJI Pocket 3. And I asked him what he was using, and he said, because he made a comment that he just recently acquired it, and I asked him what it was, and I went and checked it out. I thought, oh yeah, I fancy that. I've seen them about, but I didn't. I saw the DJI Pocket 2, but the Pocket 3 come out, and I thought, well, if he's using that, I'm going to go and check it out. I've got nothing to lose, and that's why I bought this camera. I really want to know, Ricky, if you get to watch this video, not that you will. I mean, why would you want to watch me? Bloody hell! But if you do, and I'm going to try and ask you directly. But if I don't do that, and you see this video, what editing software do you use? Because I'd like to know that. I've got DaVinci Resolve, but it's very, very sophisticated and complex. It'll probably do the job, achieve what I want to achieve with it. But I'm just wondering if there's a simpler, free editing tool out there that I can use that I don't know about. Please, let me know. The other thing I'd like to know is thumbnails. My understanding, it's key to make a thumbnail, and as you know, my videos don't have thumbnails, but I'm going to start looking at them. I'm going to try and make one, and you'll start to see them appear, hopefully. And I need to really think through what I'm talking about. I've got to have an agenda. I've got to have a structure. At the moment, I'm going up free format. I think my whole approach initially was just to dump everything that I'd recorded in the past, carry on recording these videos and dumping them in there as well, and don't worry about the content or the quality at the moment. Just understand the process, and once you're comfortable with the process, then you'll be comfortable talking, and then once you can move on from that and start to develop my skills, because it's going to be around it'd be great to make a video where I've thought everything through before I even open my gob. Because I don't do that. I just, unfortunately, you're being terrorised by my verbal diarrhea. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in again. Once if you've got this far, that is. Thank you very much for getting this far. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe, because it helps the algorithm and it gives me a little boost to my confidence to let me know that these videos have some value to some people out there. Thank you. Adios.